things planned, it's meal,
Go ahead.
or included, and so I was looking at that, but it seems kind of expensive. But the good news about it is it's kind of safety in numbers, and there's also that takes the guesswork out of where to go, where to park. You know, that's the main concern is like, what do you do with the car
Yeah.
overnight, and depending on where you're at and how sketchy. All starting with Chicago, like, where am I gonna where am I gonna park where I'm not gonna get
Yeah.
stolen something, you
Yeah.
know.
We're gonna
Um,
take our camping trailer because when
oh
we
yeah.
go, we're not gonna be on any schedule. If we like a place, we're gonna stay a few days.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, and I'm
So
not going to have any schedule per se. I mean, it'll take a time. It'll take some time, but all the logistics things to work out. But it's kind of that bucket list thing, and we're just like, what? I'm just gonna. I see people do it. I mean, I've seen pictures of people with their split window vets that did the whole trip, and they're
yeah,
different cars and different. You just got to plan it and can't worry about what ifs and all that. Just got to take precautions and plan it properly, and hopefully everything. Weather is another factor, but you go in
yeah.
summer at least, you don't, of course, I don't, you don't know if there's rain or
Hurricanes or no, what
hurricanes or fires
tornadoes?
or,
Tornadoes down there.
yeah, exactly. Well, all those Texas fires affected, the route because it goes through
Yeah.
Amarillo, and that was, pretty bad. So if you happen to be going through there at that particular time, that would not have been good, so, but that's the plan, but best laid plans, how that goes.
Yeah, that's 2 years out.
you know. But
And
they
they
are
have
planning. I know they're planning a lot of things along the route for the 100th. Now,
Yeah.
what, and it's all different. It's not like a collective thing. It's just, we're going to do this. Well, we're going to do that. Well, we're going to do
Yeah.
this.
Cool.
It'll be fun. We're gonna take our time. Hey,
Yeah.
Kevin, you all right there, brother?
I'm having issues.
Well, you can hear us, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We
Okay.
can see some packages or something there. I don't
Yeah,
know
your
what
camera's faced towards the package.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on with the Zoom for me. I can't get it to work properly right now.
Those
Okay,
are
well,
business
sounds good
cards,
here.
aren't they?
Those are business cards.
Okay. Well, let's
Okay.
get started here real quick.
your deal.
Yeah, and then I'm going to turn it over to you for a few minutes, Alan. So we're official, guys. We are a nonprofit organization now. We have our board of directors. Rory's going through the bylaws right now to make sure they're going to fit for us. Isn't that right, Rory? You have any update on that?
No, I didn't particularly like those other ones, so
Yeah.
looking for one with car club, motorcycle club that I can plagiarize.
Okay. And we'll be able to go down, thinking maybe, I don't know what your schedule is this week, but we'll go down there and to the Bank of the West, Wells Fargo, and open up the checking account for for the Nevada Car Coalition.
You let me know when you're ready and I'll go.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on that? I shipped the board out the registration. Did y'all get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did I?
Yeah, you probably did. I didn't read it.
No.
Yeah, that's why I asked for Vicky's email. Did you get it, Vicky?
I'm sure I did. I just haven't.
Okay, okay. So we're official, and so we're all protected. So that's a good thing. So
I feel better.
what's that?
I said I feel better.
So how much are you opening the bank account with?
I think it was 400. I haven't checked it. I put it in an envelope, and it's in a safe right now. But I think it was. Didn't we do 800 collection on when Karen sold a 50/50?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it was
so.
800 exactly because Tess, Rory's wife, won the 50/50.
Okay, so it's half of whatever
$400.
Rory's wife got.
Doesn't Sean have some money from the last Genoa show though someplace?
I have not talked to him about that. He's been extremely busy. I wanted to make sure we got the account opened up first. And then if he had anything that was hanging around, we could, have him deposit it, or we could deposit it in there. So, but all of the information's on your email to the board anyway. So we were planning and Rich, you could probably help with this. I heard that the Auto Museum had Formula One cars, race cars down there, and they're supposed to be there for about 3 months. I also heard, and this is through the grapevine, I'm gonna have to close those curtains. That Paul Newman had his race collection down there. Alan, you've been trying to get a hold of Phil, right?
I have left 6 messages for that guy over the last week, and he has not returned. And I've left him on his cell phone and his office phone. But at my inliners meeting Saturday, Al Abramson, who's volunteers up there quite a bit in the shop and stuff like that, he was going to check into some things today or tomorrow for me and get back to me and find out. I think there's probably somebody else we can talk to.
We had a promotional guy at our coalition.
I think there's a gal in the office that can handle it. So
you know what? I've got the registration forms here. Maybe I can find his name through that and we can call him.
What are you trying to do?
Well, we're just a coffee and donut thing. No meeting or anything else, just to the coalition to go look at some race cars.
Just to draw people to the museum.
So
Yeah,
you just
not an organized meeting or anything. Let me close these curtains.
So you just want to invite people down to the museum to go look at cars.
Basically that's it. And have some coffee and donuts there for them to hang out and shoot the bull for a while if they want or what have you. Still go as a group, get the whole coalition.
Well, like when you say that, like how many in the coal? You mean like
we don't know. Wait,
I'm
right now, how many
I'm
people
sure
do
it'll
we
be
have?
under
Timmy?
100.
How
Well,
many?
we had 998 Saturday morning. Now there's 997.
Yeah,
We lost
there was
one.
somebody from Iron Mafia, I think, removed their name because I got an email.
Oh, that was probably Rory.
Not me, man.
Oh, so you want to have something inside the theater again?
Or their meeting room. They have another meeting room.
Yeah, like the Hollywood room, because it's bigger.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be formal. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
that
not
they
like
got
we're
some
gonna have
race
a
cars
meeting.
down there, and I thought some people might like to go see those and just have a casual thing before we get into race, car show season.
And when are you looking to do that?
Maybe next month.
Okay.
Hopefully on a Sunday, so Kevin can,
Well, I mean, I typically have pretty good luck getting a hold of Phil. In fact, I just saw him last week at the August Nights volunteer event, and we were chatting about some things and stuff. So, let me try to get a hold of him as well, and just say, hey, Alan, they've been trying to get a hold of you, and this is what they're looking to do. If that's something we can do, and then are you looking at a weekday, weekend?
Well, I was thinking like on a Sunday, because I know a lot of people working during the week, the Sunday.
Like Sunday afternoon.
Well, probably morning because of the coffee and donut kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
And then I'd like to find out I think the formula cars, from what I understood, are supposed to be there for 3 months. But then I don't know how long Paul Newman's stuff is there.
I think it's there the same amount of time, because pretty much that's kind of like their promotion they're doing right now. So
okay. Well, yeah, I think it would be fun to go see that. Anybody else have any thoughts on that?
I think we just need to get it together. We need to get a hold of somebody at the museum so we can get it set up.
well,
Yeah,
give me a shot to see if I can get a hold of him. Give me a few days, you know what I mean, this
Okay.
week, you know what I mean? He travels a lot as well. So, and then, see what I can get back from him. So you're looking at, so when you say the whole coalition, so it's open to anybody.
Yeah, I want to get a date pinned down so we can get a flyer made up. So I've access to Sean's advertising girl, so she's pretty good about doing the flyers for us. That way we can get it.
We want to make sure that they understand that anybody that comes in, they have to pay their way in. It's
not going to be a
free ticket for everybody. We're trying to help the museum.
Well, that helps. Okay, so if that's the case, then basically you're saying that it's an invitation, but you got to pay your way at the door.
Absolutely, yeah,
You
because
gotta pay your way in.
they've
Okay.
given us the last 2 times has been free. So
All right. Well, hey, I mean that's certainly and then you're going to provide all the refreshment stuff. Is that it?
yeah, I don't know if they have. How do we do the coffee? Just like the box kind of thing?
You do the boxes, you can get them at Starbucks or wherever,
Okay.
that, you know,
Or
that
we can
box
bring
it.
coffee, we can bring coffee makers. That'd be a lot cheaper.
You got a big one or no?
I can get, how many we get? We can get 3 or 4 big ones.
I know Al's got one and we've got one that they're like
Okay.
30, 40.
Yeah, we could probably come up with 4 of them.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so that's what we would do, and then I'll go hustle up some.
So this would be like Formula Cars and Coffee.
Okay, there you go.
Race cars and coffee.
And
Okay.
it'd be really cool if they'd open up the back so we could park, some classics back there as far as that goes too.
Oh, out on the patio, the new patio area.
Yeah,
Rich, it's in your hands, son.
Well, let me ask him. I mean, it certainly helps that people are gonna pay, because then it's not a freebie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now we've got, what do you think the attendance would be like?
It's hard
But
to
what-
say. We can have people start RSVPing right away as soon as we have a date.
And so, aside from the premise of the cars and coffee deal, I mean, you say there's no formality to it, but I mean, do you think it warrants at least a semi meeting-ish or not, or some kind of, you're addressing them with something, or is it just show up and?
Just
Well,
show
I
up
was
and get
hoping
coffee
maybe
and
Peter,
donuts.
maybe the Auto Museum can do some promotion for themselves.
Yeah,
mean,
this is
I
an
don't-
opportunity for the museum.
Unless anybody wants to start talking about their car stuff, but then I don't want to, sit there for
Yeah.
an hour and a half, everybody jawing about the shows when we can go be looking at cars. That's just my thought.
Yeah,
What
we don't
about-
wanna be- Go
Do you
ahead.
think that Michelle, typically, she's putting that, getting that calendar out by mid-April typically. So maybe if they were there, we could say, here's the final calendar and what it's
That's a
gonna
good
be,
idea.
and go
Yeah.
over every date.
That's a good idea. I want to make a note to call her. That's a
You know
good
what I mean?
idea.
And it's not up for discussion, but based on previous meetings and flyers, and then the deal that we did on, February 24th. Here's the outcome of that. Here's the OPO calendar. It's the official calendar, and it would probably then mirror the one that Rich has been updating, and then here's what's getting published.
That's a good
And,
idea.
That way people can, instead of in pencil in their books or their phones. I mean, I keep everything in here. When I hear of a show, I'll save the flyer as a photo, but then I'll also put it in my calendar, and, that way it's informative, and that won't take long. That takes 15 minutes. Like, you get everybody together. Let's say it's at 10 o'clock. Okay, at 10 o'clock, we're sitting in the deal. Here's the calendar for 15, 20 minutes. Grab some coffee and donuts, enjoy the race cars. We'll see you
Good
on
idea. Yep, I
see you
like
on the
this.
strip.
If we have the turnout like we had for the meet and greet we did for the final calendar thing, we had 145 people register for that.
Yeah,
I think there was more than that showed up. I think we
think
had
so,
over
too.
150 people. So.
Well, the fact that you're making them pay, you probably won't get that much turnout, but then
Yeah,
most folks who qualify for the senior discount, which I think it's $10.
Hey,
yeah.
Dennis qualifies for that.
And then
I get it
maybe,
free.
and I don't want to speak out of turn, but maybe, I can say, hey, Phil, we'll pay for it. I mean, maybe everybody gets some kind of a discount, 10%, something on top of that. I don't know. Let me talk to them and see what I can come
Talk
up
to
with.
him. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
And then you're looking at April.
yeah. I
April.
kind of glanced at the calendar. I think the third Sunday was open. I didn't see any shows on it, but
You
I
got
don't
the
have-
swap
if
meet on the
anybody have it.
7th. They're doing a pet adoption event on Sunday, the 14th.
What about the
Then the
21st?
21st is open.
That's what I was looking at, the 21st.
Yeah. Try to do the 21st. And hopefully we have the calendar in hand by then.
And if he says, okay, I'd say, go ahead and book it, Rich.
Just, yeah.
What time? Like 10 to 12?
Yeah, perfect.
What time do they open?
I think we're open at 9.
9, yeah.
Then let's do 9 to 12.
Okay.
And people can come and go. It ain't like they have to be there at 9 o'clock.
No, that's true. We do for coffee,
Yeah.
but yeah, that works. And if it's open, yeah, go ahead and book it.
Yeah.
Except if people try to get there early, because you know how car people are.
No.
It doesn't matter what time, you know, it doesn't matter when the show is, 10, 11, doesn't matter. 6
6
a.m.,
o'clock.
6 a.m.,
6
6 a.m.
o'clock.
You know, it doesn't matter. We'll get there
That's
whenever.
our Dayton Tusovich. He's always the first one on the show.
Yeah,
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking, we had our meeting, whatever it was, last week, and we were talking about some of the stuff coming up. And we were like, you know, we still can't, we don't have the winning formula for that goddamn Carson revival. We keep backing it up a half hour and backing it up a half hour, and we still show up late. We're down at the end of the street. You know, like,
Yeah.
when do people get to Carson? Holy cow. They get there at 5.
they have people get there at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. They're
Jeez.
I think it's earlier than that. I've heard 4. I've
See,
heard
we can't,
4.
yeah. I mean, we can't leave Reno, and I mean, you got to add another half hour, 45 minutes to that. You know,
Exactly.
It's, yeah, we're
You have to
like,
spend the
yeah,
night
I was,
down there.
yeah, come down and get a room.
like it's gonna, yeah. One year we got real lucky and we got there and we were able to park in front of the Capitol. We had the shade all there. That was 1 year. After that, we've been down like way down where the Firkin is and all that, which isn't bad. I mean, it's just what it is. But when you
That's
try
just
to
the way-
register, go do your things, you gotta, you know, it's a little bit of a hike, you
Yeah.
know, to get up there. But anyway, so all right, 9 to noon.
Yeah,
Yeah. 9 to noon. And then Kevin, you hear this? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Okay. We're going to do it on the Sunday and yeah, because you're off on a Sunday, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
yeah, that's just for you, brother.
I appreciate that. You guys rock.
Oh, there's something else for you too. But you're not, are you on your cell phone?
Yes.
Well, I'll send you a picture in a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I
Good or
found,
bad?
I found something for you,
Did you? Okay. I'm curious.
only because I like you. A little.
A little.
You'll see how much.
Well, I'm scared now.
Yeah. Okay, boss, what else?
Let's talk just for a second about the Genoa show. We got to get together on that.
You do.
Probably Alan, you know, all of us here, because there's going to be some changes to that, which Sean's really happy about. But Rich, wanted Rich to come on because Rich said he was going to take care of the music, right?
Well, I mean, I can, you know, provide some assistance in there depending on what. Now, when I briefly talked to Sean at the February deal, and you know, he likes the band, and okay, I mean, and last year's band, well, actually, probably all the bands have been good. Last year's band was really good. You know, the problem, it's not the issue of the music or the type of music or any of this other. It was the idea that you could only hear it in that one section,
Exactly.
and it was crickets everywhere else. I mean, and so you couldn't hear. And the main thing about that is not only could you not hear music, throughout you couldn't hear announcements. You know
Exactly.
what was going on. You just sort of had to, you know, we were sending runners out to kind of, you know, and I know that 1 year Kevin put his speaker on the other side. That kind of helped in that little corral deal. And you know, as I look at it, I'm like, well, there's a way to do this. You know, I mean, Sean seemed to think, well, maybe we can have both. We can have a DJ and a band. I'm like, no. No, I don't think you want to do that. I think you
Still have
should
the
do.
announcement problem.
What's that?
Yeah.
Still have the announcement problem with the 2 separate things.
Well, you do. Yeah. You know, and so, you know, I've always been kind of the ilk when I look at it, and it's like, hey, if you set the center stage, if you will, instead of being in that one kind of area right by, I know it's convenient to move the trophies there and all that, and you know, it's kind of, but you know, the bathroom building is centrally located and probably has power, which is a good thing. And
Does.
power is always fun. And you know, and from that point, you have access to the back corral. You know, you have that whole front area. And then, you know, the system that I have, I mean, I basically use an FM transmitter. So I can actually place a speaker on that far end which I guess would be the north end where there's like some kind of house over there.
Yep.
There's a far lot way over there, and then the original lot, which is over by the gazebo, So that would be, you could almost have 6, because you'd have 2 in the front, you'd have 2 that face the rear that go into that corral, and then you'd have 1 that's kind of on that far outreaching lot, and then another one, and then you'd have coverage over the whole thing. Then it'd be uniform, and then it generates from the middle. So, if I was to DJ it, then it's easy. We don't have to like try to hook up into anybody's other stuff. If we use a band, and the band has to be willing to A, move there, and B, I don't know what their gear is like, to patch what I have into their thing. So that's to be determined. So, if everybody's, heart is set on a band, I mean, I've always, I don't know. I always have this discussion with Hot August Nights too sometimes. Like sometimes, band is good and it's not, or it's like it's not the main thing. It's more, the music we provide is more background and ambiance for the event.
Right.
Unlike, Hot August Nights is like, well, it's a band that's the featured entertainment that people are, they're captivated and that's what they're there for.
Yeah.
But otherwise, that's kind of why they're just, they're, from what I understand, they're not going to have a band anymore in Virginia City for the Hot August Nights thing, because it was like nobody was there really watching the band, and the bands
Yeah.
are very expensive. The equipment's
Is anybody
expensive, the
watching
band's
the-
expensive.
Is anybody watching the band up here at the Genoa show? I never see a group of people.
Not
up there.
really. I mean,
I didn't.
yeah, I mean, and I'm not to take anything away from them because they were great. I like, wow, you guys sound
Yeah,
really
but
good. I mean,
that's
you know.
not the venue for it.
it's not the venue for it. No, I mean, if we were going there to just kind of hang out, and do an outdoor thing, and just drink some beer and eat food and watch a band, then perfect. But if it's as an ambiance for a car show, I don't think it's necessary. I mean, it's
So if we do that middle, can we do the trophy presentation there too?
well, sure.
Sure.
I mean, you can do it all from there. I mean, just kind of you just use the not block the bathrooms, but you use that general area. In fact, I think the building just to my directions, just to the would it be south? Yeah, south of that. Actually, Iron Mafia, you kind of were setting up. You had your little table over there. What were you doing? The raffle?
Yes, we had the 50-50 over there.
Right. So that general area between there and the bathroom building, that's generally the middle. I mean, I looked at a map before we went on here just to kind of get my bearings again, but I've been to that park several times. And then a secondary option would be to use that big gazebo that's in that one lot, or it's not a lot, but you know what I mean? The grassy
That
area.
middle section there.
Yeah, the middle section grass, there's that giant gazebo. You could use that as a
Oh,
central stage area.
Cause that's where they do the cooking usually too.
That's true. Although I don't think they did it last year because that one Mexican place moved over to they had just a tent and their little
Yeah,
portable grills.
they can set up anywhere.
Yeah,
That
right.
that taco cart thing.
So I don't think they used it last year, but they did the year before. I know that. I mean, that's just an option, but
would that gazebo work for what we want to do?
If you're setting up a DJ thing and you're handing trophies out and stuff, that would be
Yeah,
perfect.
I mean,
'Cause it's covered.
well,
you
I
got
mean,
your
yeah, it's
table
just a
tables and
natural
everything.
building. It's just
Where-
it's very visible.
Where is the gazebo?
If you were facing, if you walked by the bathroom on the sidewalk there
Yeah.
and just kept going around, it's between the far park and the middle park. It's on
Oh,
the back side. So we'd be facing towards Jack's Valley Road, right?
On the
Yeah.
north side.
And Dennis, if you put a band in that middle section, I think it's way too close to the cars.
Yeah. I'm thinking
Because
the
I
gazebo,
think
though.
it'd be more an annoyance than anything else if it's in
Well,
that.
if we
section.
do the GJ thing, I mean, Rich has got the whole gazebo thing for
Right.
him. That'd be perfect.
Mhm.
And then we can.
Well,
put
it
the
just
trophies
depends
in
on
that
how
table
married
there.
you are to a band. You know what I mean? It's
I'm not married to a band. I'd rather listen to background music. I mean, that's what I do when I do the car shows. I don't
Yeah.
wanna bands are, you're right, they're there to watch.
I
Nobody's
agree.
watching.
And I don't even know, what was the band charging for?
No clue. I don't
No,
know.
no.
It doesn't
Sean was
matter.
controlling
If we
that.
don't use them, it's free.
I think they're charged $1,000, if I'm not mistaken. That's what they
Oh.
wanted to do any other show. I don't know if they do that one for less or cheap, but it
Yeah.
was 1,000.
So
Marie,
Rich,
did you have something to say?
Go ahead, Marie, sorry, go ahead, Marie.
Oh, I was just saying I was agreeing with what Rich was saying. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Rich, are you willing to be the DJ?
It takes so long to think about it.
That took too long.
We got the majority of the board here, so we could go ahead and vote on that, can't we?
That's right.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Well, I
Um,
mean, aren't you gonna talk to Sean about that too? Cause it,
Yeah, I'll talk to him. But
I mean, you know, I don't,
very, very busy. He's gonna leave it primarily to us. I mean, he's gonna be there. He's the liaison for the city. He knows all those, those people that run the city there, so he just can't do all of the
yeah,
work.
no, I get it. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't want to butt heads with him is what I'm getting at. I don't want there to be animosities or weird, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think there will be, but I'll run it by him.
And I definitely think just from both as a DJ and a car participant, you certainly don't need both. He
No.
was saying, "Oh, we could do both." I'm like,
And,
No.
and Dennis, when you talk to Sean, he needs to understand. I mean, how many car shows use bands? None.
Right, none.
Just
Not August nights.
because he's new to this, he's trying different things, and one of the things was the band thing. And
Well,
just-
I don't know if he was fronting that himself, so it'll save him some money too.
and that's okay because it's just going to save him some money because it doesn't have to be that way.
Not all, Alan. I still use a band.
well, yeah, you guys, Kevin, you still use the Elvis guy,
Mhm.
and then what do you do in between though? I can't remember.
The rest is usually my music, but Vicky's going to be doing DJ for us during the Relay for Life this year.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's not. I know it's done. Generally, you don't need it. Generally, it's to provide nice, good background music. It's easy to control when it's time to make announcements. Sometimes with bands, it's a little bit more cumbersome. You got to wait for them to do a break, or you kind of. I mean, they work with you, but it's I don't know. Just in my experience, it's just a lot easier and it's still just as effective.
I think there's a time and a place for a band. I mean, and it also depends on what the band is. I mean, what the Elvis that we do. I mean, he's become
Well, he's
something that
great,
everyone
yeah.
knows.
But then, as you know, you had that one experience at your show, and that band was horrible.
Oh yeah, it was awful. I was gonna have a riot there. So yeah, I tend to agree with rather having a DJ or music. I mean, because then you could play a vast amount of music, and you could take requests, and you can get what the people want out there. So yeah, but I'm just gonna say that's probably the only exception. I haven't seen anyone else doing a live band either.
Well, and then I don't think logistically it hurts you to do your trophies and all that stuff from that stage as well, right? I mean, I know Kevin
Right.
said, well, it's easier to move the trophies to the end. It's like, well, I mean, how did you do? What, don't you have them in your car?
Yeah.
Well, then you conveniently park in the Rockstar lot there.
Yeah, you can park in the middle.
Now you can park in the middle
That's right.
or not. I don't know.
I'll park wherever they want me to park.
Well, if it's easier to park down the middle, if you're gonna use that gazebo for sure.
But then are you also using the gazebo that Sean was using, in years past, for registration?
I would tend to think we probably would keep that there. What are you thinking about that? You have a different thought?
We're trying to pre-register a lot this next one. So
Yeah.
hopefully he won't be as busy, but we could still use that for the those who come late and want to register the day of.
It kind of keeps them out of the flow of traffic there while we're all parking and stuff. And again, we're changing it around for pre-registration this year. Last year was a little difficult.
A little difficult.
That's on September
Also, it's
7th,
great to
right?
have a DJ and have an MC when you're there, to make announcements and do the trophies and stuff. You did a great job last year, Rich.
And
Well,
I
thank
think
you.
everybody would be able to hear from that section too, with his remote speakers.
That would be awesome too. Well, that's the biggest complaint I got.
Yep.
Well, you just can't, I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, you just, and that's so spread out in there and you can't hear what's going on. You'd like to be able to, you know, and then if you're gonna do raffles or anything else, you know what I mean? Just updates on stuff and then, you know, you don't feel isolated. Now, the only, if there is a drawback, although I don't know how much, you know, you have all of that overflow, if you want to, whatever, lack of a better term, overflow parking that was up Nixon Street. They've become a
Hey.
little bit more detached because now they're probably not gonna. I mean, when the band was over there, they probably were. They had a little bit more. They
But
could
they
hear.
had
You know what I'm saying?
Rich, they had another band at one of those businesses too.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't walk over there.
Or
so I didn't-
music. I was a guy playing music there at one of those.
Oh,
cafes.
well then, all right.
They had their own, but those guys get there before anybody else. They go and they park there. They want to be on that street.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
those
do.
guys that
So it
show
was-
on Nixon, they like to be there because when the show's over, they can bolt right out of there. They're
Yeah.
right.
They parked themselves. They were all filled
Oh.
by the time we got there.
So it's
Yeah.
not really overflow at all.
No,
Not much.
not for those
Okay.
guys.
All right.
I'd say about 80% of the cars were because they wanted to be there. And most of them are from my Thursday group down here. So,
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so that would be my advice on the sound piece. So,
Okay.
you know, I'm probably at some point between now and September, go down there and walk it and just kind of get a, you know, it'd be a good idea to, you know, get the board or whatever group is really, you know, the core people that are putting this together to walk it and decide, are we using gazebo or not? Or are we using the front of the bathroom or not, whichever, you know, like what's gonna make the most sense. I don't know
So
if there's
for
power
power,
over
do
at the
you-
gazebo, though. That's the only thing.
Do you use a single cable
I don't think this is.
for power? You need a bunch of cables or what?
Who, me?
Yeah, how do you power?
Well, I'd like, well, there might be, I don't know, I'm just thinking of that one lot that's it's like the first lot you come to as you're coming in on the left, that grass, I don't know where that house is, that historic house,
Yeah,
whatever that
yeah.
is. So, you know, I have a generator that I can use for that because I don't know if there would be power anywhere near that building. There might be, but if there is, great, you know.
There
Each
may
of
be
the
power in that
speakers are-
gazebo for all I know.
Each of the speakers are powered. You know, instead of using an amp, I use powered speakers. That way they can run independently and I can control their volume independently. So that's kind of why I chose to do that. So the drawback is I need power at each one of those, which is generally not a problem because I kind of spider the power from, you know, one central spot to go out, the fan out. And then if I've got you know, something that's remote, like out there, then I would use a generator to power it. Just doesn't take a whole lot.
Yeah.
You know, so there's not cords running all over the place. I mean, it's all kept,
yeah.
you know, in close captivity of where, you know, where the booth is. So that it's not like there's big cords running across the lawn and any of that. I wouldn't want that anyway.
Yeah, okay.
I'd figure all that out. I'd make it work and where it's not, there's no trip hazards. It's not ugly or anything like that. So.
Yeah, that gazebo may have its own power for all I know.
Yeah, it could. I just don't know if it does. I'll have to go down there and check it out. You know,
Yeah,
and
well, we can do
you know,
that.
and if it
before we-
doesn't, then it doesn't. And then, you know, that could be a little bit of a problem. I definitely know the buildings do, the bathroom building and probably that other building. That's
I
next to
think
it
that
probably.
one
has
is
it.
a blacksmith shop or something like that, that northern building.
Yeah.
I think that's what that is. We
Is
can
that
check.
what that is? A blacksmith shop?
I
Okay.
think we can check and see if there's any power in there.
Yeah, that's all,
Okay.
you know, and that could be decided, you know, I don't need months in advance for that. It's like it either has it or it doesn't, and then we figure it out. Where did the
Mhm.
band plug in?
They had some, I think they went to that blacksmith, because I think they walked through that big giant door.
They run a cord all the way out to there?
I think they did.
Oh,
Must be one heavy duty cord.
that must be, yeah, you gotta have pretty heavy gauge to go that far. You know, the further you get out, you need to get into a 10 gauge or a 12 gauge wire.
Hmm,
You know, most extension cords are like 16 gauge. Which, if you're not running a lot of juice through them, but but anyway.
okay.
Well, that was, yeah. So if that's what the route you want to go and you get, whether you need or don't need Sean's blessing on it or whatever,
Yeah.
run it by him and then give me a confirmation on it and then
Okay,
I'll start planning it.
okay. What else?
Our last meeting with Sean is he kind of wanted us to run with it this year
Yeah,
and take a lot of the heat away from him.
Just
yeah,
do it.
he's fine with that. But we gotta get some plans so I can get those flyers out. At least get his girl to make them up.
Well, like you said, and Vicky said just before this meeting started, she says we need to get together again like we did at Bullies and start putting this stuff down on paper.
Yeah, because
Well,
before you start doing flyers, you gotta have the website up, so people can pay online.
Yeah, and that's where you guys are gonna have to help on that one. I think Sean's got a website, but I don't know if he has the payment, online thing.
Yeah, we need to do that separate from Sean. We have.
But I can use his website, right? He's
No,
got one for
No,
It's gonna have to be a website
the coalition.
for the
website.
coalition.
Coalition needs to do a website
Because that's where people are gonna go to register.
and
Okay.
pay. Yeah,
So we'll get,
we'll ask Chris if he can do that.
yeah. I have a guy working on my Inliners International website right now, and I'll talk to him about that.
Okay, yeah, do, and let's make it so we can pay online.
Yeah.
What's
we-
your, have you picked your charity that you're benefiting the show money for?
No,
No,
Last year, if I remember correctly, it was for some businesses in Genoa, right? Am I
Last
wrong
year
about
was-
that, Vicky?
I don't know.
It was for the family council, support council last year.
That's what it was, yeah. And I'm not sure if Sean's even thought about it this year.
yeah.
Well,
got
because
it.
that's something to put on your flyer for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah.
People, and the more broad based you make it, the more, that people are wanting to give. I mean, they're gonna go to the show regardless, but you know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's going to and then they knew what it is. I had no idea what it was. Even hearing it, I'm like, never heard of it.
Well, last year too,
Not
we've
that it's
had,
not worthy. It's just, I've always learned the more recognizable and more familiar it is, the better success you have. Things like selling 50-50 and raffles and all that, because they know where it's going and, and it's something that they can relate to. Animals is always good. That's why I like Kevin's, when he does his stuff, it's, animal rescue kind of deals. And, that's cool stuff that people can really get behind. Or kids and sports and, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Veterans.
Again, we need to.
Cars
we
and
need to
stripes.
discuss that as well. We need to get all that down on paper.
Yeah.
well, we better get a scheduled meeting then.
Well, it'd be nice if you had all that stuff together, could hand out flyers if you do this deal at the Automobile Museum in a month,
Yeah.
And we have time to do that.
Yeah, we can do that. Absolutely.
'cause
I think we
people-
should meet down there at the fort like we did last year and walk it again and look and check what's the best way to do this thing. Have that
Mhm.
all already lined up or on paper. And then when we get the flyer, we put the flyer out when we know where everything is gonna go, what's gonna be like, the money and all of that stuff. So we should
Yeah.
meet there at the fort before we start putting out flyers and stuff.
And I will say this from a spectator or participant point of view, one thing that I really liked about, and I can't remember I think it was just the email that got sent out, like confirming that you were registered or whatever. But I liked the diagram that got sent out that showed where everything was. This is this parking, and this area, and this with a little bit, that was cool.
Sean did
So-
all that. He coordinated, because I had nothing to do with that.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that was kind of neat to see. So you had
Okay.
a general
I'm
idea.
glad to hear
And then,
that.
then you mark your entrances, enter here, enter there. where, you know, then you could put on there where awards are gonna be and, you know, that kind of stuff.
Okay, good.
I think so Sean generated that, but when did he do that? Like closer to the date?
Yeah, he was having a hard time trying to focus on that because they had another shop open up down in Sacramento.
Hmm.
And so he was training over 100 people down there. So he'd be down there all week, and then he lives in Genoa, so then he'd come back for the weekend. So,
Plus, he was doing a lot of traveling too last
and
year.
he's still doing that. So I can get him. I'll make sure we have this. He's pretty much turned it over to us. With him going to be, I don't want him to be out of it at all by any means. You know, he likes the show. He likes doing the car thing. You know, he just doesn't have the time. So
Who got all the permitting?
he did.
Oh, so is he still gonna do that?
He's already got them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. They also had a turnover in council members over there in Genoa too.
Hmm.
A lot of people retired. And so there was voting and getting new members in there and that kind of thing. That happened just at the end of last year.
Hmm.
So I think in January is when they had their first meeting, and he went and got all that handled in one night.
Oh, wonderful.
But they want us there. So anyway, I don't have anything else.
Well, I think we should set a date when we need to get together. Give me time to get with Chris. Give me a couple of weeks. So I'm thinking if we get together on the 31st, which is a Sunday, so Kevin can be there.
You want to do that, Kevin? Are you able to do that?
That's
31st?
Easter.
Oh, is it?
Yep,
Easter's on the 31st?
it is.
Yeah, I'll be working.
I'll be in the Bahamas.
Good for you.
How long are you gonna be gone?
I'm gonna be gone. Let me look. From the 23rd through the 8th of April. So March
Yeah.
23rd through April 8th.
Yeah, I think the latest we could do it is April 7th.
If you want stuff at the museum.
Yeah, we want to have this stuff
If you
printed
want
up to hand out at the museum.
Yeah.
If you want a website and
Yeah.
everything,
We got to have this finalized by the 7th, and that'll give me now 4 weeks to do something with the website thing.
How long?
The only
I
thing-
can meet with you, Al, and I'll hide some eggs at the fort for you.
We can go
We
meet
have my
in the park.
proxy vote.
The only thing going on the 7th is the Chevy swap meet. Chevy Club swap meet at Baldini's.
Yeah, and we're only gonna meet for a couple hours, maybe. Like we did the last time when we had our first board meeting,
Yeah.
just get
So like
together.
what? So like in the afternoon?
We could do it in the afternoon, the morning, it doesn't matter. We could do it anytime.
How about well, it takes like what, an hour to get there roughly, so
well, Carson,
You're going.
I don't know, like,
We're gonna go to North Carson to Bullies.
so that way you guys don't have so far to go.
You know where Bullies is there? And
oh, well, then you're not gonna walk the grounds.
Oh,
then.
we can do that.
not during that meeting. No, we should.
We can do that before then, Rich.
Yeah, we could just.
We
get
can do that
together.
before the meeting.
So what's all right, so what's on the 7th then?
To get this all together to where we can get the flyers put together.
Oh, okay.
You can come down before that and any day and give us a call, and some of us could go
Oh,
out.
okay, so I don't,
And-
okay, got you, okay.
If you're heading down, Rich, don't go out of their way. If you're heading down for some reason towards Carson, just call us and we'll meet you out there at the park if you need to.
3 of us live within 10 minutes, so we're
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Does it have to be on a weekend?
Maybe
No.
in weeknight.
Well,
Yeah,
what
we're
about
all tired.
during the day? Cause I go down there a lot for work.
Yeah, we can do it during the day.
Yeah, we're retired.
So see you guys.
Well, all right, I'll tell you what then. So I'm just looking at my phone, I'm looking at my calendar. Okay, so when I get to work tomorrow, I'll look at my work calendar, see, and then I'll just say, hey, I'll just pick a date like in the next week or so. this week, next week, and say, I'll be down there.
Next
Whatever
week is
time
gonna
will-
be the best. Sometime next week would be the best, anytime after that. This week's out. There's too much
Yeah,
going
fine.
on this week.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay,
Okay.
all right. I can
Rich,
do that.
Do you have Alan's number?
Um,
Why don't you take it? Because Alan and Roy are and Bill are Tim's all real close to each other
Oh, that's 3
and close to the park. So Al, would you be okay to coordinate that?
Sure.
Okay.
So are we gonna do April 7th or?
And I'll be there if I can be there, but I'm coming.
We're gonna do it, but besides what Rich is trying to figure out there, so we're gonna get together April 7th at Bully's.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be out of town for that one.
You will? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm going to, all the retired deputies meet
Oh,
in
that's
Laughlin for a roundup. So we're
Yeah,
going,
you told me about that. Well,
I'll be
geez,
gone.
Alan, do we want to just try to do it in an evening sometime with a Zoom?
yeah, we can do that. That'd probably be the
I
best
mean,
thing.
everybody can get together. The main people that are going to be putting the show on can get together
If
that
we're gonna
way.
do a Zoom, then we can go back to, well, no, the 31st would be but if we're gonna do it in the evening, Kevin, what works best for you, time wise? In the evening?
Anything after 4 p.m.
Oh. So
so it'll
any
still be
evening
light
would
out and
work.
everything. So
So why don't we,
You want to do it next Monday?
that's too soon for me. I gotta get this, I gotta get with the computer guy. So give me 2 weeks. How about Monday, the 25th?
They have a problem, guys. I'm going down to the Winter Nationals.
Really? All the way to Pomona, huh?
I've been doing it for 30 years. I couldn't do it Monday. I could do it Tuesday though.
Okay,
26th?
the 26th?
It's
Everybody
what
good
time?
with the 26th?
26th? What time? Same time? 6?
6,
Early.
yeah?
Okay.
Everybody good with that?
I'll still be gone, but I'll watch it when I get home.
Okay,
We don't care about you, Roy.
Yeah, I guess.
Especially since you're going to the Bahamas.
what's your number, Alan?
775-781-1747.
Got it.
Can you email these dates out so I can have a log and try to figure out what I can attend also?
What's that?
Email?
Yeah, if you can send those dates out via email, that'd be great.
Well, Kevin, or Dennis is the email king there,
Oh,
so
yeah.
email her
Thanks,
the
Dennis.
date.
Okay, so the dates, well, all I got is the 26th for the Zoom. And what else?
26 Zoom at 6 p.m.
they'll be in the minutes.
Ray, what other dates we looking for?
They'll be in the minutes.
She'll
that
be,
I'm sending
Vicky's
out.
she's
No.
gonna write up the minutes and send them out to everybody anyway, and you got Marie on that.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
You're on there,
Yeah.
Marie.
Thanks, Vicky.
Sure.
Sharon, do you have anything?
Well, would you like a little input on last year's Genoa show?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Keep it
Okay.
nice because we're recording this.
My Thursday night group, a lot of them always go down. We always go down, but we had a conflict with another show for a benefit. And when people came back, they were really upset. They were tired of standing in line to eat. And the parking, I guess, was pretty close and tight. So a number of them said they're not going back because those two things were pretty important to them.
Okay.
What was the food situation?
Well, there are what, 4 places to eat in town and you stand in line for an hour?
It did
That's
take a
what's
while to get, I agree with you. Yeah, you had to wait a while,
Yeah.
just even in those shops.
And
It's
that
nice, at
was-
least you're indoors and you just had to get there at the right time to get your
Yeah.
food. So I do understand that.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's been a thing though for the 4 or 5 we've done. So
Would it be beneficial to have a couple of food trucks show up?
I think that would be real beneficial. Something
Yeah, I
that
think,
put it
yeah.
somewhere else.
yeah, sure, and I have to agree with you. And, maybe
That
it's
is-
not a balance, or maybe just to help supplement the same type of food that's there. So, there was the breakfast croissants and so forth, and they can only make so many at a time. It's not that we want to take business away from them, but we want to keep things moving.
Yeah.
So
that-
trying to find a balance is something that food trucks, and I understand how the vendors there could get upset, like, well, we
Yeah.
already served that. But we're just trying to help balance it out because their staffing is short. It really is. I had a talk with them while we were there.
Yeah.
So I have to agree with you. So yeah, just trying to figure out what the right balance is.
Yeah. So, it's just a couple of things that people have been going for years, and they've said no more.
You know what show is when?
Okay.
Well, that's something that we need to talk about, on
26.
Monday as well. We need
Probably
to-
with
we need
Sean
to-
too.
We need
Yeah.
to, we need to have a couple of food trucks.
Yeah. I think that would even it out, and that would give people more variety, but they wouldn't have to stand in line quite so long.
Cause here's the thing, and if the town doesn't want us to do it, they need to understand that we're
Yeah.
gonna make people mad and we're eventually not gonna have a show at all.
Yeah. And
The Genoa Bar has its own food truck too.
oh, really?
Oh, they do?
Genoa Bar has it out there. They have music going in the summer and all that stuff. And then one of the family members runs a food truck right next to the bar.
Well, then we need
outside
to,
area.
But
we
it's
need to
not-
launch that.
not there in
food truck
April.
then.
So we can contact them and see if they get that food truck out there.
That's a
for us.
good idea.
They
That's a
didn't
good
use it
idea.
last year?
Did they not use it last year?
No, I don't think it was available last year.
Okay.
I don't think it would.
Well, there was,
That
what was
Was
that?
the bar, you said?
Genoa Bar
Genoa
is the
Bar.
old bar in town.
Yeah.
What was that
And then-
tent that was set up there, like almost on the corner, and he was selling just basic hot dogs and soda, and it was just a tent. And some guy, I don't know where they were from, but
During the Genoa show?
yeah, last
There
year.
was one just selling coffee and croissants, wasn't it?
Well,
Also in the
but
corner.
there was a guy who was, because I got one there. It was right on the corner. I guess it would be the opposite corner of the gazebo, where
Oh.
the real estate, whatever that real estate thing is, or
Yeah,
whatever.
Coons
So
Real
what I
Estate.
would suggest is maybe if Sean talks to the town and say, look, here's our quandary. We want to bring in food trucks, but let's give you the first opportunity, town,
Yeah,
to figure out something. So extend because I did this in Virginia City when I did events there. It's like, hey, you go in the restaurant, it's like, hey, put a tent outside if you can, put a tent and do just coolers of basic stuff, water and soda, and then do a simple menu, just burger
Right.
or hot dog or something like that you
Two
can
items.
handle.
But the deal is they would have to have health permits if we're.
Yeah.
talking-
Well, some of them don't. They can do what's called it's an extension of their
business.
of their business where
Yeah,
it
yeah,
just
they do.
goes right outside their door. I mean, they have to check, I don't know what county is that, Douglas?
Douglas.
It's
Yeah,
Douglas.
so I don't know I know Lyons and I know Stories and I know Wachos, but I don't know Douglas, what they would require. But typically in there's other places, it was just an extension of their license, their business and health went out to the street.
Yeah, directly across the street from the bar is that sandwich shop. And
Yeah.
I think they didn't have enough people because they didn't expect the volume of people. So if we get with them ahead of time, then there's that little parking lot that we could block. Well, you can block that whole little parking lot off that was
Mhm.
behind where Sean was standing, register people.
Yeah.
They could
that-
set up,
yeah.
like you said, Rich, good idea. They could set their tents up with their food and stuff like that, just to expand their business.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing with that, Tim, though. That was the third time we've done that show.
Yeah.
That show's been huge.
They knew there was gonna be a
Yeah.
big crowd.
Yeah.
They should have known. The first year, yeah, we were still learning from it, but the third time, they should have known and should have had people, ready for that.
Yeah.
They
Well-
knew about it because I talked to them. They just couldn't staff it.
Yeah, that
Well, then
business.
I think in all fairness and to avoid any issue on the site day of is that they should be told and or forewarned that, hey, we're gonna have a couple of food trucks out here.
Yeah.
If you don't say anything and they just roll up,
They're
you
gonna
know,
be
they're gonna
angry.
be calling people and they're gonna be
Yeah.
screaming and
I think we need to get, since Sean deals with the town, we need to have him at the next Zoom meeting.
Okay, okay.
Cause this is,
All right.
I mean, this isn't something we should discuss. This is something we need to make happen.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
It's It's gotta be improved. It's a good show. It's gonna get bigger.
Sharon can go to her group and say, we fixed it. No more waiting in line for days.
That's right,
Yeah.
yeah. Sharon, you gotta show up at that show and be our spokesman for your people.
Well, we now have about 120 registered in Carson City's Thursday night cruisers.
Good. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So we're doing well.
Yeah, good, good. Well, we're coming up at 7 o'clock, guys. We'll wrap this up.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
You guys, Vicky and Alan, you guys got anything?
Just looking forward to next Monday or when is it?
2 weeks.
26th.
26th.
And Bahamas, you got anything?
No, I'm good. I'm packing already, so.
Of course, of course. I'm sure
But
you'll be thinking about us while we're working diligently here on your behalf.
Yeah.
yeah,
I saw
on
Tess,
the
I saw
25th,
Tess sneak out the
I'll
door.
have an
there.
extra drink.
Yeah, yeah. What's that, Alan?
I said, I saw Tess sneaking out the door behind Rory a little while ago.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
She got tired of listening to us.
Tim, you got anything?
No, it does, hey, Al, I'm gonna see Chris this week, so if you need
I
me
told
to,
Chris today that you and I were gonna come take that cooler down.
okay,
So we
thanks
should
for
do
that. Thanks for that.
Yeah, what are you doing tomorrow? Call me after this.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Once you get that that website guy communicated with, let me know what's going on there, would you?
Yeah,
I'd like to get that up and running real quick.
yep. Oh, we need to get a square then.
Well, oh, fine. We'll take
Okay.
one on my there.
She's got a hand.
You got anything?
I'm all good.
Ray, you're all good? Okay. And Rich, you got a plate full. We kind of unloaded on you here.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So I'm glad. Yeah. What about you, Kev?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Did you get the picture I sent you, Kevin?
I haven't looked. I got my phone running right now, so I'll
Oh,
look.
okay. Look afterwards. That's a little gift for you.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and pause this thing and thanks for being on.
I appreciate it.
Okay,
Okay,
well,
well,
the next thing we'll do is get this 26th and we'll and Rich, you'll get with Phil if you can, huh?
Yeah, yep,
Okay.
I'll try him tomorrow.
I tell you what, do me a favor, Rich, if you would, when you get with him, since Alan's trying to get him, why don't you call Alan? And then Alan and I have been talking. Let him know what you found out for the.
Yeah, sure.
with him.
Okay.
That'd be cool. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. All right, guys,
Thanks,
Right.
guys.
Good night.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take it easy.
have fun over there, Roy.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Good night.